Alright, hey guys, this is in fact Blood Cooker, bringing you my commentary of this ZVP, and we are actually admiring the Overlord's blue eyes.
Now is that because you're blue? If he had been red, would the Overlord have red eyes?
I don't know, but I think it'd be pretty cool if I was red.
You should figure that out.
I should. Anyways, I do have someone very special with me today, commentating with me. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Elusive Shark. You've seen me in various other videos. I am over here with Blood Cooker, and we're going to be doing a dual cast on this Starcraft game. This is Zerg versus Protoss. Blood Cooker is up here on the right as blue, as I mentioned earlier, and what's his face? Malice is down in the left as red.
This could get dangerous.
Yes, it could.
So, this map is different than most of the others I've shown you. This map actually has 4 spawn points, one in each corner on both sides. So what I have to do is I have to send my Overlord to one of these corners, which is closer than sending my drone in far off distance to scout my opponent, because I want to find where he is so I can, scout him and see what he's doing.
So you didn't know that your opponent was in the bottom left?
No. All I know right now is I'm in the top right, and he could be here. Whoa. I don't know how to do that. He could be here, here, or here. So I'm sending my Overlord down to check out this place, and my drone up here to check out this place.
Okay, now go back to your Overlord. I saw something. Those yellow minerals, what are those?
These yellow minerals are rich mineral fields. These mineral fields will give you up to, I think it's 8 minerals per
Unit.
Yeah, per unit, as opposed to these blue minerals, which give you 5.
Ah, so that seems like it could be a tactical advantage.
It is. If you take this base, or if your opponent does, you want to make sure you either keep it or keep your opponent from taking it. This can give you a huge, huge economic advantage over your opponent.
Alright, so you got your little drone. You finally figured out where his base is. Did you notice anything exciting going on?
When I did come in here, I did see you put down the cybernetic score. The cybernetic score means he's going for more of a tech-oriented
Oh, that
build.
poor drone. He's being chased by a zealot.
Run, drone, run! I did not want to get my drone stuck in his base because every drone counts when you're Zerg. Now, I already have my Zerglings out, 6 of them to be exact, and I'm going to go ahead and send them out to harass my opponent.
Okay, now just for the people who don't understand StarCraft, what is a Zergling?
A Zergling is the main Zerg unit of, the Zerg Swarm. It pretty much is kind of like a meat shield. You don't really necessarily care about if they die, but you want to make sure you have plenty of them in every Zerg army.
They look kind of like crickets.
Well, that's pretty much what they're based off of.
Okay.
With long arms.
So what is that weird bubbly thing floating around that guy's... Oh, shoot, what is that thing?
That is
Gateway.
Gateway.
No.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, that bubbly thing.
that was a chrono boost.
Okay, now what does a chrono boost
A
do?
chrono boost will speed up the production of the unit or upgrade from the building by 50%. That means you can get out a zealot 50% faster or a stalker 50% faster.
Alright, so if that's the power advantage of the Protoss, Nexus, or worker building crew, what does the Zerg have?
Well, see, the Zerg have a queen. Now, the queen is a very interesting unit as opposed to StarCraft 1.
That thing looks
Queen.
really creepy.
It is pretty creepy. She is basically the guardian of the Zerg base and the Zerg swarm. What you can do is a hatchery will only produce 3 larvae at a time. Now, queens can use an ability called spawn larvae, and they use it on the hatchery. When the hatchery's timer runs out for the spawn larva, these little eggs will pop off and produce more larvae, which means you can produce more units faster.
That is very interesting. Now, do queens automatically spawn with the hatchery, or do you have to create them as a unit?
No, you must create them. They do cost 2 supply and 150 minerals, so they are an investment, but they are an investment that's worth it.
So they're not free, or as in free energy, as say the chrono boost, or as a Terran, say scanner suite.
That is true. It is not a free unit. Now, one key thing about the Protoss Chrono Boost is you can either use it for producing more probes to get more of an economy, or you can use it to produce more armies to, more
Okay, now I see this guy's getting a robotics bay pretty early in the game. What do you think he's doing?
Well, this was the whole part of the cybernetics core. Because he has this robotics facility, he's going to get out this observer so he can actually scout my base. Scouting is huge in Starcraft 2 as it was in Starcraft 1. Now, the key thing here is he's not dedicating to this robotics facility build. He's going more of a 4-gateway quick push build with a forge. So my guess is he's going to get one armor up or one attack upgrade with maybe an immortal or two and make an early push.
Okay, now what is the significance of observers? Why are those so deadly? I realize that you pointed out that observation and map knowledge is key in this game, but why is this observer such a deadly unit?
Now, the observer is weak. It has hardly any more health points than a probe does. But the key thing about the observer is it is permanently cloaked. That means that no other units can see them on the screen, and you are not able to see them on the screen either. Notice, I do not have vision of this observer right there. For those of you who have high definition, you can see the blur. This observer has a huge sight range, and it will be able to scout my entire base without being detected. So he's going to see everything that I'm doing at any point in time.
Okay, well, there goes your overlord.
Yeah, now, you do have to research speed for your overlords. The reason I'm doing this is because I cannot get into his base. I don't have any way to get into his base, so I'm going to get speed from my overlord so I can see what he's doing.
Yeah, those stalkers don't seem too happy about that overlord.
No, my overlord is like, run! Those stalkers are pissed. So I do see this robotics facility, but I see it's not making anything. So my first incline is to think he is going for blink stalkers.
You didn't... Did you happen to notice that he had a warp gateway out? Or a warp way out?
The warp gates?
If you go back to... Yeah, see? You can see that.
I saw that he was getting this warp gate technology. When a player does get the warp gate technology, that usually means that he will be doing some sort of early push.
Okay, just as clarification, warp gate for Protoss. Protoss work on powered crystals called pylons. See that blue area that's powered? Protoss can use those warp gates to bring units into anywhere in that building. So these things work as kind of teleporters that can call in units.
And this is pretty key when you're playing as Protoss. You want to get this warp gate technology. Now, I did scare his observer out of my base. I believe I did make an overseer somewhere. Where are you, overseer? Where'd you go?
Oh, looks like
there he is.
Working on your base.
Yeah, I have been macroing up. I have a lot of drones, and you must consistently remain sped up to speed. Sped up to speed with spawn larva on your hatchery. And I do have a second expansion. It is almost up and running. And I do have... Where is it? I do have quite a bit of an army here.
This looks like roaches?
Yep, roaches.
Now, you said... Now, what are those roaches doing? Are they just puking on those rocks?
Yes, the roaches actually puke acid, and they're very strong against armor. And these stalkers are actually armored. The problem is...
Alright, hold on, I'm going to stop you right there. What you just saw with those stalkers, he probably just warped those in. They teleported in. So, there you go. Yeah. So about the stalkers?
The stalkers are an armored unit, which makes them vulnerable to the roach. Now what I'm trying to do here is I cannot actually see up these cliffs, so I cannot see his units to attack them. So I'm trying to kill these rocks to gain access to his base. Now notice right here, he threw down a ton of warp gates and gateways. This means that he is going for a very heavy gateway macro build.
Yeah.
He's going to get a ton. I cannot emphasize that word enough. A freaking ton of stalkers.
Okay, now what is that? Oh no, never mind. My bad. He's just boosting the Twilight
yes,
Council.
he's getting charged. I believe he does have blink already. Blink on a stalker. What you can do is you can blink the stalker to another area that's close by, and it's basically like a personal teleporter.
Dude, it is a personal teleporter.
Well, it is a personal.
Okay, now I see a little blurb of units other than that base.
Where is it?
Right there.
Right here.
Right here. What are these guys doing here? They're just chilling out in his base, making sure he doesn't expand?
Yes, what I'm trying to do is lock him down in his base. I have a few Zerglings up here at the watchtower, gaining sight of this whole area to make sure he doesn't move out. I have an overlord down here, just checking out what's going on. I have some units at the front ready to move in if I see his armies back here. And I have some units back here to move in if I see his armies over here.
Alright.
Now, I do see he's pushing out here, so this gets me a little bit nervous. I do have my 2 control groups ready to move in.
That's a lot of Zerglings.
It is a lot of Zerglings. And here we go. Massive battle right here. My Zerglings, I have to pull out because I don't have all my units in. Here come my Roaches. They're really good against the Stalkers and the Zealots. I'm moving, I'm swarming in. Holy cats, they're everywhere.
Oh, your Zerglings just got sandwiched.
My Zerglings have been sandwiched, and now my Roaches are just against this Immortal. This Immortal will kill my Roaches like none other, but my Zerglings will slaughter the Stalkers. This is a key fight, which I end up losing.
Those poor Zerglings. You have no idea how bad I feel for those little crickets.
Now, I do have to bring some more crickets in, and I do have some Mutalisks. These Mutalisks will just completely own these Zealots and Immortal. This Immortal, I have to kill it. I don't know what I'm doing, but these Zealots are getting all in my Roaches. I cannot let that happen. Oh man, here come my Infestors to fungal growth if I had it, but I don't.
Infestors do.
They can... I'll explain that later, but right now I'm trying to kill this Immortal. If I kill this Immortal, I can win this fight no problem. Now my Mutas have gained air control, so you cannot kill my army completely. Here go my Mutas. They just killed that Immortal. Here we go. Come on, Roach. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, and the Roach just... Oh, he does not make it.
But your Muta's cleaned up.
His friends come back. Now the Infestor has a fungal growth ability. When using fungal growth, it completely stops any enemy units in the target area and does constant damage over time.
Okay, now explain why the Immortal was so key in that battle.
Now, Immortals are probably one of the strongest Protoss units. They do not take an increased amount of damage from powerful units. And plus, they can also almost one-shot my Roaches. I have used fungal growth on this army, so they are all taking constant damage. I did try to get a surround on them, but they did blink up the cliff. And here we go.
Yeah,
he's coming back.
Rocks that Immortal.
Now, unfortunately, his Immortal died, but my army's dead. I'm still trying to macro up in my base. I do not have very much left. I'm really scared about this army.
Look at your minerals.
And let's see. This is my opponent's minerals not very good. Neither am I. I am terrible at macro. Maybe it's because I'm getting this.
Oh, you get those minerals we talked about earlier.
I am getting this expansion up and running.
Looks like he's got some too.
He is going to take this watchtower to make sure that he knows how big of an army I have. I am not yet going to engage this because I do not have fungal growth. But here we go. I'm going to move in with my Zerglings, get a perfect surround.
Oh,
the only thing he can do is blink away. He blinks away. He tries to go. He's trying to get away from my Zerglings. I'm going to get a surround on him. I do surround a few Stalkers, and that every Stalker counts in the Protoss army. So I'm going to do as much damage as I possibly can. He just completely puts himself in the back of the corner, and I finish off his army.
Goodbye, Stalkers.
So now I do have the army advantage, and I do believe, I do not know that this expansion is up and coming.
This looks like a pretty expanding match. Well, I guess it is a 4v4 map.
Yes, on 4v4 maps, it typically ends up being more of a macro game. Now, when I say macro game, I mean you end up building a lot more expansions, you get a lot more minerals, and the armies are much bigger.
That sounds more exciting.
It is a lot more exciting. Now let's follow these Mutalisks. These Mutalisks give me the air control, so I get the ability to... Oh man, here we go. He has the Zerglings coming in, taking out some probes. He's warping in a ton of Zealots. I have to pull my Zerglings out because I do not want to engage. Now I see this base up here, and I'm getting kind of worried because I don't know how much of a army he has. So I'm going to go ahead and do as much damage as I can. Moving in here, these Zealots, I fungal growth the Zealots. The Zealots cannot do hardly anything. And here we go. These Stalkers in the back are just slaughtering my army, and I have to pull out.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I could see that going. But I do have my what are these called? Mutalisks. I do have my Mutalisks in his base. I have stopped mining it this expansion.
Why did you not pull your Mutas out? You obviously saw that he had a bunch of Stalkers, and you had like 2 Mutas.
Well, either my macro or micro sucks, but I was trying to occupy his army to give enough time for my army to get to a safe distance.